Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andy Dan Altar, and I'm here with my beautiful wife,
Charlie Adalta.
And today we want to welcome you to this edition of Time Up with Charlie and Andy. I'm sure you've been following us. Thanks to those of you that have been following, watching the videos, sharing these videos to friends and family. And for those of you that followed the conversation on Facebook from last week, we began a very wonderful topic called Know Thyself. And we talked about how a lot of people go into relationships without knowing themselves and eventually realizing that that's not what they need. We said last week that knowing yourself helps you know what you need. And we promised you today that we'll be giving you indicators, things that you should sit down and jot in your life. If these things we're about to discuss today are there in your life, or they are trends in your life, it means that you don't know yourself, and so you would need to know. So I'll be talking once again on the aspect from the angle of the guys or the men, and then Charlie will be also talking about
men for the women.
All right.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go now. Yes, Charlie, you want to tell us one of the indicators? A lot of women, feel they know themselves the moment they can match colors. I've said this over and over in seminars and programs. The moment young women out there know how to match colors, they know how to wear those high heels and everything. It's like they know themselves. What are one of just can you share an indicator from the angle of women?
Okay, I'll share one.
Yeah. One
of the indicators is emotional fluctuation. Your emotions fluctuate.
Wow.
First, you see Benga and you like the way Benga dresses, and then you see Emeka and you like the way Emeka speaks. Then you see Beatrice or someone else, and then you like the way Beatrice is smart and intelligent. At the end, you find out that you have so many crushes and you like so many people. We've had people come for counseling and tell us, I am in love with 3 people. Is it possible?
Some even 7.
And it is not a love. It's because your emotions sometimes fluctuate.
Yeah.
If you know yourself, if you want to know yourself, this is one of the indicators. Begin to check the pace of your emotions.
In fact, some people, Charlie, they actually go into relationships with these people.
Yes.
And get to realize that although he sees this one is smart and all of that, is not really enough for me. Guys, are we ready for us? You see, when you sit down and find out that you don't know the reason why you dated your last girl, you don't know yourself.
Wow.
In fact, we should have said this from the beginning, Charlie, that before you sit down with that pen and jot it today, you want to take a vow for yourself, to yourself, and tell yourself that you're going to tell yourself the plain truth. Because actually, one of the indicators of people that don't know themselves is that they are not self-aware. They are not conscious of themselves. They don't really know, or are unable to face them, transparent to themselves. And I say this on pulpits, listen to me, if you can deceive yourself. To me, self-deception is more than Satan's deception, because if you can deceive yourself, then anybody else can deceive you. So before we make any progress, for the ladies and for the guys out there, let me tell you the truth. You've got to tell yourself the truth. Now, so for the guys, first thing, pick up your jotters and write. Why did you date the last girl you dated? You broke up with her. Why did you do that? If all the ladies that you have dated and the ladies that you're attracted with are all physical attractions, you don't really know who you are. If all you can write on that piece of paper today is the last one, she knows how, her hip is very good, she has big hips, or that other one had fine lips, and all of those, and be honest with yourself, because the guys can be very tricky, and they don't know that in tricking people you get to trick yourself at the end of the day. Satan is smarter than all his children, in this sense that I hear a lot of people, though men and women do that they say, what kind of lady do you like? You say, well, I like the God-fearing lady, the respectful lady, the what I want. And then all of a sudden, you see the girl he picks to date is, Madonna or
cat eye.
Cat eyes and all of that and all of that. We're not saying that is wrong. But it means this is another sign that you don't know yourself. So we're saying, be honest with yourself from the last relationship, or if you have never dated, look at the list of people that you're really, really attracted to. Why are you really attracted to these people? Do you have a proper definition? Do you tell yourself a lie like I did, back in the days? They say, well, I'm going to ministry and this person is going into modeling. Somehow she'll be modeling for the ministry.
Yeah.
Is that
indeed?
Is that where?
Wow.
You are right now. So that's one big sign for the guys, when you don't know why you dated that girl and you can't even explain why you broke up. Let me tell you the honest truth. Stop blaming the girl. You don't know yourself. Yes, Charlie.
Okay, and to add to that, I think that I've seen more men tell themselves the truth than even the ladies.
Well,
but the men do that more when they are together. Ladies lie to each other more when they are together. So you see, ladies, you also need to begin to tell yourself the truth. The second, for the ladies, I hope that you are writing, because you would need to write them down so that when you begin to observe these things in your life, then you know that you're beginning to know yourself. The second, for the ladies, is emotional instability. Now this happens where you begin to have emotional swings, like mood swings. I mean, you begin to have mood swings. 1 minute you're happy, the next minute you're sad. 1 minute you want to have fun, you want to play, the next minute you want to be in isolation and you want to be alone. And when asked what exactly is the problem, we hear that a lot with ladies. I don't really know what is wrong. I can't really tell you what is wrong. Well, you don't know yourself yet. There are a lot of emotional rush that's going up that it's so hard for you to just be able to grasp one and say, this is actually the problem. So you need to know that when you have this emotional instability, a problem is already rising. Because through this emotional instability, you can go into any relationship that wrecks your life. Whoever gives you attention at that moment, when you are sad or when you're crying and someone comes to give you a shoulder, fall in love.
You fall in
it's
love.
not love anyway. You become infatuated. Yes, in lust. I agree with that better. You fall in lust with the person. So right now, guys are even scared to come and give a shoulder, because the next thing is, but you gave me a shoulder, and it's because of the instability of emotions. And then when you are sad and somebody is able to tell you a sweet word, then you now have 2 or 3 boyfriends. One is the shoulder, the other one is the sweet talker, and so on. So you need to check
The other one is the shawarma guy.
It's the money guy.
Alright guys, are we ready for the second one? The second indicators for the guys is this: when you can't properly define her role in your life, you don't know yourself either.
Wow.
It looks like it's her fault, it's not her fault. When you are dating somebody or you're planning to date somebody and you don't know what role they are coming into your life to play, it's because you don't even know the role that you're playing in your own life.
Very true.
Are you getting it, guys?
Yeah.
That you've got to be able to, it takes a man that knows himself to actually know why he needs a woman.
Yes, very
because
true.
Eventually when you get to discover yourself, it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helpmate. Now that it takes a man that has discovered himself, he knows the needs. Like I said earlier, it is when we know ourselves that we know what we need. If we go and pick out things and go shopping for women, for careers, for jobs and everything before knowing ourselves, I say this in business seminars, maybe this is a little digression. A business like networking is not for everybody.
No.
Some people just jump into this. You go to a networking seminar and then they tell you wonderful things, beautiful things, and then you're so captivated by it, and your person does not support that kind of business. There are some people that can't talk to anybody.
Very true.
Maybe you're the office person. So if you had known yourself earlier, you won't go and invest in such a business and then it fails eventually. So we're saying, guys, the second indicator is this: when you can't properly define the role she plays in your life, I'm sure you will not say that he's coming into your life for the cat eyes. You see, that's where you know that getting a woman exists, just checking her out physically. Nobody marries and say, well, I need a cat eyes in this season of my life. I need it. No. So if you can't properly define her role, let me tell you something. It's because you don't really know yourself. If you do know yourself, you will even know from friendship the one that will fulfill that role. True. If you know yourself, you will know that this one is incapable of filling that role. Maybe the way she is, her person will help somebody else. That somebody may need that kind of person, but definitely not me. Yes, Charlie.
Okay, for the ladies, this is the third and is the last for today. And
we'll discuss some on the Facebook page.
Yes, we will.
Many other indicators. Just these are some major indicators.
Yeah. So the last one for today is emotional manipulation. Most times this is very, very common with women mostly. And when it comes to emotional manipulation, if you know yourself, you know the kind of manipulation you embark on emotionally. Because emotional manipulation can come either through the body, through words, through the eye, or through activities. I'll explain. I had a talk with someone and she said, I know exactly how to position my body to get attention. That's emotional manipulation. If you know yourself that well, you know when you are doing it. Because sometimes you do it like unconsciously, and sometimes some are well planned and intentional. It now tells you that by positioning yourself and your body, the way you walk, the way you twist around when you're talking, do your hands, you're passing messages to the wrong people. So you have a whole lot of people come, and then when there's emotional rush and instability, you just begin to pick from different places. Sometimes it becomes deceptive because you feel like all these people like you. Well, no, they don't really love you. They came for something that you manipulated. You attracted something. And sometimes it's the look. There's the look that we give for the guys. He's talking to you seriously and you're all like, and your facial expression. These are emotional manipulations. You might not agree, but these are manipulations because these are actually wrong. If you can get a man, if you are truly a queen, you do not need all those things to get a man. And if you want to genuinely get a man, be you to get him. Just be the way you are. Speak and look the way you speak and look when you're home, when you are with friends, when you are with other people. He gets to contact the you on the inside and he falls in love with that person. So we need to know that emotional manipulation can happen even in words. I've seen where a lady would tell a guy, Benga, please see me off. And then he says, I'm doing something. Say, wow. So Benga, you not see me. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you again. Don't worry, it's okay, it's my fault. These are emotional manipulation. Why must you insist that it's Benga that will take you? And Benga says he's doing something serious. You can see that. Then you twist your voice and get Benga to see you off. You can know when you see the signs, okay?
To add a little to that, when you are a queen, like Charlie said, you won't be trying to attract everybody.
Oh, wow.
You don't need everybody.
Yes, very
That
true.
you're out there trying to manipulate 10 men, 20 men, you actually don't know yourself. You eventually will end up with one anyway, except you're planning to have multiple partners, which doesn't really define you. All right, now the third one and the last one, guys, for today is this. Are we ready?
Yes.
Charlie, guys don't want to hear this at all.
Okay, I would like
When
to
you
hear.
have a need to prove to the woman that you are the man,
They don't like it.
you don't know yourself. And most times, Charlie, why they don't like hearing this is this very simple. When he has a need to prove himself as a man, he's intimidated. Most men don't really say that they're intimidated by certain women. Let me tell you something. Knowing yourself eradicates any form of intimidation, especially by a woman.
True.
You have no point to prove when you know yourself. You have no point to prove to anybody, but whether he's a man or a woman, you have no point. Charlie, when you see young men out there intimidated by women, you know, they try to use force. They try to threaten them. You know, a lot of women can be emotional out there. They try to use everything from words to, you know, manipulate. Men manipulate too. Men manipulate too to get whatever they want. You know, that you don't really know yourself. If you know yourself, you don't have to prove that you're a man because you're already a man.
Yes.
You're already a man, guys. And so from number 1 to number 3, for guys, please listen to this over and over again and write this thing out and check your life again. We have quite more, but because of our time, we're out of time. You know, for the ladies, listen to what Charlie said earlier. If you are a victim of any of this, let me tell you something. You don't really know yourselves, and anybody, this is the challenge, this is the problem, that if you are experiencing any of these things, it's very difficult to be stable. It's very difficult to be, you know, to be very focused. And so most people like that don't know how to keep long relationships. And if they keep one, it is mostly abusive relationships. It's either they are manipulating each other or they are, you know, one party is benefiting while the other is disadvantaged. All right, guys, we know you've picked 1 or 2 things for today. We'll wrap it up for today, Charlie.
Of course.
You know thyself. Part 2. This is it. We're saying go and know yourself. Okay? Stop playing, stop breaking people's heart, stop playing with somebody's son, stop playing with somebody's daughter. If you're married out there, it's still not too late. You can actually sit down and say, Lord, who am I? You see, I want to end with the scripture, Charlie. It is the story of Gideon. Gideon was afraid. Gideon was a man that was, you know, running away from his enemies, and he was found hidden in a particular place, in a threshing floor, you know, trying to get food for his family. And then, you know, the angel came to Gideon and he introduced Gideon to himself. He said, "Oh, great man of great valor," right? Now, that Gideon's definition of himself was different, and that of the angels was different. And God, as our creator, actually knows who we are. God is in the best position. God has always been in the best position to define us. So if you're out there, you've written something down and you're getting discouraged already that you don't really know yourself, we're saying you go back to your Creator. He has the manual for you. He has the proper definition for you. He didn't send you out here without a definition. You see, we were saying here, Charlie, one of the signs that we did not talk about maybe today is low self-esteem. You're there, you feel worthless, you feel that you don't deserve the best man, and you're a lady. As a guy, you feel like you don't deserve the best lady. That's another sign that you don't know yourself. All right, this happens to both male and female. You've got to sit down and go back to God and say, Lord, introduce me to myself. Introduce me to myself. And when you get to find out that, you get to find out what God told a lot of people in the scripture. Say, go in this thy might. When you discover yourself, there's a kind of confidence that flows in and all of that. So we love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go to our Facebook page and like the page. Is Time Out with Charlie and Andy, and make sure you go to you subscribe to this channel and leave a comment and tell us how this has blessed you. From Charlie and I, we say we love you.
Love you.
Love you. See you tomorrow on our Facebook page. We will be discussing this proper. So give your comments and everything on Facebook page tomorrow, starting Monday. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.